2. Hello, welcome everybody. Welcome Facebook, welcome Instagram Live, and welcome podcast listeners to another episode of the PT on Ice Daily Show. It's Fitness Athlete Friday. I'm your host today, Mitch Babcock, co-faculty member for pretty much all the fitness athlete division minus the pregnancy and postpartum, right? So that's the essentials, the advanced concepts, and the live course. So pumped to be back with you guys today. If you're online and saying hello, thanks so much for jumping out with us this morning. Just got back from a really fun weekend last week with Alan. We were down in Arkansas, Cabot, Arkansas, with the folks of Next Gen Physical Therapy, and Jacob and crew. They all had a fantastic course for us down there. So really pumped to get down and hang out with them guys, throw down a little workout Saturday night, had a good time over the weekend. So got a few courses that I want to list off for you guys. We'll hold those to the end of the end of the episode this morning. What do we want to talk about today? The topic for today is making fitness approachable, implementing this fitness forward belief that we hold so near and dear to our heart at the Institute. Something that's a little easier to do, something that's easier for your patients to do and easier for yourself to do, right? So where are we going with all this? Well, over the course of our live course in the weekend, and especially in Arkansas, I mean, this message always resonates most with Alan and I and Zach as well when we're teaching on the road, is when we can get folks exercising and doing fitness, doing some high intensity fitness for the first time, and watching their entire body language change, watching their entire mindset change around the idea of fitness, watching, maybe some of their biases they had against it kind of fall to the side. It's very clear that they recognize that this is something that they should be implementing more often, right? It's like this, I don't want to say a wake-up call, but it's an idea that, like, hey, I can do this. This is not as hard as maybe I was building it up to be, or the reasons that I told myself that I couldn't do some of these things maybe don't hold as much merit as I thought they did, right? And so it's always a big moment for us, right? Where we're like, yes, like that's the goal, is that everyone can start this, everyone can do something somewhere. And sometimes it takes someone holding your hand. Sometimes it takes someone scaling and modifying and programming that workout for you, like we do at the live course, for you to really see that in its full aspect, right? And so that's kind of what we wanted to talk about today, is what are some strategies that we have? How do we do that? How do we make, this fitness forward belief, how do we make that more approachable to more people, right? A lot of times, I'm going to talk on Vice. If you're on our virtual ICE format, we're going to wrap this coming Tuesday, about like what is a fitness athlete, and really define all the components that really make up folks that are fitness athletes when we're talking about them. But a lot of folks, we don't have to start with that. We don't have to start with CrossFit athletes only and this and that and the other thing. A lot of times the first real moment that people start to grasp this is when we do our REMOM lecture, right? And you guys have heard us talk about REMOMs quite often, a couple times on PT on Ice, a couple times on Virtual Ice as well. Our REMOMs are rehab every minute on the minute, right? And if you've heard us talk about this before, this is a fantastic way to start implementing TheraX in more of a fitness forward approach, right? Rather than just over in the corner doing 3 sets of 10 of banded external rotations and then 3 sets of 10 of dumbbell shoulder press or whatever, we start to put those components together in more of an interval-based circuit training model, right? We're an every minute, on the minute strategy, and we can ramp that up or slow that down as much as needed for the individual. But let me give you a case example, right? How do we use the REMOM to kind of start inducing this fitness forward approach? Well, I had a patient just yesterday, was seeing me for a handful of sessions for some low back pain and some radicular symptoms up in the upper leg and buttock region. Was feeling really good on our last session. So yesterday came in feeling really good. And his wife and son both do CrossFit at our affiliate. So he's been particularly like wanting to get started with some higher intensity exercise. He's does race like triathlons and Ironmans and stuff, but wants to get into more of this high intensity type CrossFit work, and has been itching at it. And he's not really sure when the right time to start is, given his symptoms and whatnot. And I said, man, you're feeling awesome today. At your worst, you're like a 1 out of 10. I think. Sorry about that sneeze on the air. I said I think that today's really a good day for us to start trying some of this stuff, right? And so what we did is we drew out a remount for him. The remount looked like this. Minute 1, we wanted him to do 12 goblet squats, right? Give him a 53-pound kettlebell. I want you to squat. I want you to show me that neutral spine we've been working on. I want you to take your hip crease below parallel if possible, as low as we can go without symptoms. Minute 2, I want you to do 25 feet of a suitcase carry in your right hand, and then 25 feet of a suitcase carry back in your left hand. The suitcase carry, we have farmer's handles in the gym, so we just loaded that up with 85 pounds, I think is what we had on the farmer's carry. It was a nice, slow, methodical march down and methodical march back, and focus on midline stability and kind of that frontal plane unilateral stability aspect, right? And then minute 3 was max calories on the rower. Now, when I was programming this, I said, how hard do you want to go today? Like, how good are you feeling? He's like, I'm feeling pretty good. I said, do you want to scratch that competitive itch a little bit? He's like, yeah, I kind of do. I'm kind of itching for that a little bit. So I said, okay, because that was going to change how I programmed it. Otherwise, I was going to, only have him row 10 calories or 15 calories in that first minute. Instead, I wrote up max calories. I said, you're going to get a rest interval. Minute 4 is going to be rest, right? So we've got squats minute 1. We've got carries minute 2. We've got max calories on the rower minute 3. We've got rest on minute 4. The goal would be to mix through these 4 total times. So I want 4 total rounds of this, right? So we get rolling on this thing, and minute 1, I think he blasts out like 26 calories or something. Like, he just smokes it on the first interval on the rower. So that'd be minute 3. And then he gets a minute to rest, and then he's into round 2. Squats, carries, back on the rower, blasts another one. I think maybe another 25 calories. Rests again. Now he's starting to walk around a little bit more. He's breathing a little bit harder, and he's kind of shooting me this smile like, whoo, that rower gets me a little bit. Now all of a sudden in round 3, the squats become much harder because the legs don't have the gas in them anymore, right? So the 53-pound kettlebell that was once maybe a little too light to start the workout got a lot heavier. The carries got a lot harder to stabilize as we were marching with the farmer's handle. And when he sat back down on the rower, he wasn't pulling quite as much. He was dropped down to about 21 calories. And then the last interval, again, slowed down a lot on the squats, did okay on the carries, but we really started to pick up on some asymmetries with the carry. That's really where, once the fatigue set in on board, that unilateral carry became much harder for him to stabilize and walk with good posture and positioning. And then got on the rower for that last round and finished out with 19 calories on the rower and was like, woo, went over in front of the fan, sat down for a minute, cooled off. But it was, when we talked, when we debriefed the workout there, he was like, dude, that was what I needed. I've been feeling like I've wanted to do something. I've been feeling like I want to work out at higher intensity. And the way that we programmed that looked like rehab, was rehab, right? It was all the things that we needed to do. We needed to squat, we needed to carry, we needed to get his heart rate up. And all we did was just change how it was programmed. We said max calories there. I want to see what you can do. I'll give you a full minute to rest afterwards. I want to see if you can hold that output all 4 rounds. How easy is that to do in the clinic? It's super easy. I know that you have a treadmill, or I know that you have a stationary bike, or some piece of cardio equipment that you could put people on and measure output and measure power output as they're on that machine, right? If in our case, it's calorie output. Like, how many calories can you do in that minute? Give them a minute to rest and relax. And it's a self-regulating programming, right? You just show me what you can do. I'm not demanding that you do an X number of calories or a long duration, or we need to be here very long. And if my plan was 4 rounds, but if it looked like he had his fill after 3 rounds, we could have cut that workout after 3, right? So we made fitness super approachable. And what that did for the mental component of our rehab was instrumental, right? Because he's been wanting to make that big step closer to what felt like his goal, which was to join CrossFit, to get started in CrossFit. But for your patients, that's going to do a lot for them as well, right? A lot for them to get their heart rate up, to realize, well, I didn't think I could work that hard, or I haven't really pushed that hard to try to get 15 or 17 or 19 calories like that, like I did in this workout today, the way it was programmed. So use the remount dosing as a way to make fitness approachable on the front end, right? To just start that in your care, dose that in there, and get people working a little bit harder and show them how really easy it is for them to start breaking the sweat and enjoying that process. The next part is like when we're programming workouts, like full-scale workouts like we do at the end of day 1 in our Fitness Athlete Live course. So Saturday night, we all round up together to close out the day and we do a workout. we program this workout. We implement some movement that we've talked about over the course of the weekend. So that's likely a squat or a thruster or a deadlift or a press of some sort. We try to integrate that in the workout as a skill competency test, right? Like let's put that movement in. We've worked that now. Let's put it in under intensity and under fatigue and see how you do with it, right? And so that's our goal with the workout after day one of the course. But we're also briefing and we're also scaling this workout for everyone in the room. So we could have 20 individuals, anywhere from being diehard CrossFit athletes, and we need to scale them up. We need to give them an RX weight that's challenging for the workout and give them a time expectation for how long this should be taking. And then we also need to scale it all the way down to someone who's just starting. And this is where we're focusing on today. It's like making it approachable to someone. Yeah, we can write up burpees and thrusters and running and maybe push-ups. Like we can put all that into a workout. But then I've got to take the individual who's nervous about all four of those components and say, okay, this is what our goal is for today. The push-ups, I want you to do those from your knees. I don't want you to do them fully strict yet. I want you to do as many as you can do from your knees, right? The thrusters, I want you to use this really, really light barbell or these light set of dumbbells if the barbell's intimidating. And we're working on that full squat like we talked about today in the stand and press to a fully locked out arm. Like that's our goal and our focus point for the thruster, right? The running, let's scale that volume back. You're probably a strong runner, but given the components and how this workout's going to look and feel, let's bring the running volume back down a little bit. Let's cut it in half, right? And so all those things where you give the expectation to that individual who's starting it should be lower than what they can do, right? Set the expectation to the point where they're gonna be able to hit that mark and feel really successful about that, right? And that's honestly what we do for a lot of our folks when it's their first week or two in CrossFit. It's like, hey, let's bring this way down. Let's make you successful. Let's let you have a good time and high five and everything and show you that like you've got more to do. You've got more that you could have done, right? You finish that workout and you thought, well, I did the 20s, but I probably could have did the 30s. That's exactly what I want you feeling like, because it's like if you ever golf and then on that last hole, right, the 9th hole or the 18th hole, you hit a good drive, right? And you're like, man, if only I could have hit drives like that all day, like what my score would have been, right? It's the same thing with this. It's like set them up, allow them to do the workout, allow them to work really hard, but also leaving them feeling successful and wanting them to come back, realizing how much more could I have done? How much more could I have deadlifted, squatted, or pressed, right? Set the expectation down, make them successful in that workout, let them have a good time. They're going to get some intensity out of it. Just whatever weight they use, working out at that speed, especially for the first time, they're going to get lightheaded a little bit and be like, whoa, like we did a lot of work there. And as they're drinking their water and cooling down, then the endorphins start to set in and they're like, you know what, that was a blast. I had way more fun than I thought I would do working out, right? We always say like fitnessing with friends, right? We had way more fun fitnessing with friends than I thought we would have. So that's the goal. If you have patients, clients, athletes, family members, and you're trying to get them in the door and get them moving more and making this fitness forward approach a little easier to acquire. If you yourself are trying to get on the boat with it, right? And I understand that that's hard for a lot of people. That first step is not an easy first step, right? There's a knowledge gap there. Maybe you need a coach. Maybe you need to seek out a really good gym that can break this stuff down for you and help to set those expectations for you, right? I encourage you to reach out to gyms in your area and find a good coach that can help you do that. But nonetheless, you've got some strategies there to making people feel successful, setting the bar, setting the expectation, telling them what you want to happen, how you want them to execute the workout, whether that's in the form of a remom, right, where you're putting all your clinical exercises together with a little cardio component maybe to get them breathing hard. That's their first dose of fitness, perfect. Or maybe that's in a full-scale workout that you're trying to dose and program for somebody, right? Allowing them to be successful, allowing them to get their feet wet a little bit. The best thing that the best review we can get after a weekend course is when people send us an email and say, hey, you know, you really re-inspired my drive to prioritize my health, prioritize my wellness, and I've started at a local gym in my area, or I signed up for CrossFit at the affiliate that we use for the weekend, right? That just makes us feel like on top of the world, not because we've recruited someone else to CrossFit. Of course, I would love all of you to try CrossFit, but because it's like it was a moment in someone's life that we were able to make it approachable, make it accessible, make it doable for them, and allow the message to come across. That like that's all it takes is a little bit of effort every single day, and you too can live a much healthier, happier, pain-free life. Like it can be that easy. We can really start at that point, right? And so when we get them emails, we're so pumped to hear about it. So shoot Alan a message, shoot myself a message. If something we've said along the way has inspired you to start in at a gym or start in with your fitness program, we'd love to hear that story. Share that. If you're on the ICE students page, we'd love to see you share that as well. So just a few tips there this morning as you're trying to make fitness a little bit more approachable, maybe for yourself, maybe for your patients or your clients, okay? A couple courses that are coming up, guys, I want you to be aware of. If you're looking to jump into our next Essentials Concepts course, that's our 8-week online modules and live meetings with myself and Alan. We're always redosing and changing some of the lecture content. We're doing that right now. Our next course kicks off on August 12th. That's the start date for that one, the 8 weeks Essentials, August 12th. The 8-week Advanced Concepts, you're going to have to wait till September 29th for that one. The next course for Advanced Concepts is September 29th. Put that in your calendars. Grab a seat before it sells out, because it always does. And then the Pregnancy and Postpartum Fitness Athlete course. Christina is wrapping up, or she's like halfway through the first cohort right now and is just on fire. The Facebook group is sharing all sorts of awesome resources. If you want to catch that one, the next one is going to kick off September 9th. Okay, so early September 9th for pregnancy, postpartum. Live courses, if you want to catch Zach, he's in Pennsylvania. September 7th and 8th. You can see him out there. Myself, I'll be here at CrossFit Fenton. We're hosting a course for ATI, and that's in September 21st through 22nd as well in Michigan. Boy, if you want to work on the cervical management, right? If you want to join Jeff for his last open course of the year, he's in Danbury, Connecticut in August 10th and 11th. That's at Melissa Reed's clinic, and I've been out there once before. I got to tell you, it's an awesome spot, CrossFit Gym, PT clinic. Really, really cool spot. So check that course out in Danbury if you can make the trip to check Jeff out there for the cervical management course. And then I saw Jordan Berry's doing one down in Charlotte, North Carolina, cervical management course in early September 8th, 7th and 8th. So a lot of stuff going on. Guys, some big announcements coming from the company next week. So keep your eyes peeled. We always got updates and changes for you guys to keep the best clinical Con Ed information coming your way. So keep your eyes peeled on the company as we got some moves that we'd like to make. And Anna will keep you informed on more of that. I mentioned in the episode I'm talking on virtual ice as well. So if you want to jump in on virtual ice, it's not too late. You can get signed up on our website, ice.physio, and jump in for virtual ice. And we'll talk all things fitness athlete next Tuesday night at 8 p.m. So, man, that's a bunch of stuff. I've been pumped to be with you guys this morning. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. It's a hot one in Michigan, so we're going to try to stay cool and spend some time out at the lake this weekend. I hope you guys enjoy your weekend as well. We'll see you back, same place, same time, Fitness Athlete Friday next week as well. So you guys have a good one. Hey, thanks for tuning in to the PT on Ice Daily Show. If you enjoyed this content, head on over to iTunes and leave us a review. And be sure to check us out on Facebook and Instagram at the Institute of Clinical Excellence. If you're interested in getting plugged into more ICE content on a weekly basis while earning CEUs from home, check out our virtual ICE online mentorship program at ptonice.com. While you're there, sign up for our Hump Day Hustling newsletter for a free email every Wednesday morning with our top 5 research articles and social media posts that we think are worth reading. Head over to ptonice.com and scroll to the bottom of the page to sign up.